small island states will be hit by a perfect storm in the coming months as the COVID-19 pandemic and extreme weather conditions strike simultaneously, the head of the Commonwealth has warned. Patricia Scotland, Secretary-General of the Commonwealth, an alliance of 54 countries with a combined population of 2.4 billion people, told CNBC in a phone call that several economies will be forced into a perilous situation this year by the overlapping crises. "We've been trying really hard to get the world to wake up to the real perilous state in which many of our small states are," she said. "We have three quite terrifying things intersecting. The interaction between the pandemic, the resulting economic downturn, a slump in tourism and the rising prevalence of extreme weather events meant many Caribbean and Pacific Island nations were now facing the perfect storm," she said. The first issue, Scotland said, was the natural vulnerability of those small states to climate change and destructive weather. She explained that destructive, large-scale hurricanes and tropical storms used to be a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence. But that was no longer the case, she said, meaning island nations were facing an existential threat. "These hurricanes aren't coming every 72 years, they're coming every other year and getting bigger and bigger," she said, recalling Tropical Storm Erika in 2015, Hurricanes Irma and Maria in 2017 and Cyclone Harold in 2020. The storms have caused billions of dollars in damages across multiple economies, including the U.S., in recent years. The Caribbean is facing not only COVID-19, but the fact that when the new hurricane season hits, they may be destroyed, Scotland added. Their economy will be greatly weakened, and we are looking at some of the most heavily indebted countries in the world. And this debt hasn't come about because of their fiscal ineptitude, it has come about because they have had to respond to climatic and other events like the pandemic which are beyond their control. The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1 to November 30, with the U.S. National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration predicting above normal activity for the 2020 season. "We then have a pandemic which has really devastated the globe," Scotland added. "Now, as a result of those two intersecting, we are facing the reality that we are likely to see an economic tsunami coming out of this. The IMF has warned that the world is soon likely to see the most severe recession since the 1930s, while the World Bank has predicted global gross domestic product will contract by 5% this year. If you look at those issues intersecting with each other, you'll see that the vulnerable states are really at a point which will mean that many of them are facing that existential threat, no longer just on one level but on three," Scotland said. "So I think for many of our countries, there's never been such a perilous time.